where are we currently in terms of the automotive industry? What does the scenario look like for the future? Clearly, we are at a stage where we're selling more than 10 million motorcycles in India. It's the second largest motorcycle market in the world. But having said that, I just draw your attention to the fact that if you look at motorcycle penetration per capita GDP, you'd find we're about 6%. Whereas countries close to us, Thailand, Indonesia, they're about greater than 20%. All that tells you is we've still got a lot of motorcycles to sell in India. And that's the same thing with cars. We are at a car stage where we've got 8 cars per 1,000 people. Most developed markets would have 500 cars per 1,000 people. And markets like Thailand would have 120 to 130 cars per 1,000 people. That just tells you where that's the kind of potential which India has. Now, what are the opportunities? I think before going over to the opportunities, let's talk of what are the key issues which are affecting the automotive industry per se, say 2010 to 2011 in the immediate short term. I think one of the key factors is the high interest rates. I think all of us know that buying a car has become that much more expensive because interest rates have just shot up. Inflation is running at close to 10.5%, 11%. That drives interest rates up. The financing is just not available, affordable financing is just not available to a consumer. That affects it. And that's what you've seen over the last, I'd say, last 2 quarters where the growth rate in the car sales has come down. From starting the year with a forecast of a growth this year for about 15%, that's been downwarded to about 5% growth over last year. And interest rates is one big player in that. The other thing is fuel prices. As consumers get hit harder and harder with the fuel prices, what's the future with that? There's labor issues. We've all seen, heard, Maruti had that lockdown for a few months, and those are key issues. Overcapacity in the car industry, that could be another key issue going forward. Inflation I've touched upon already. Distribution coverage is another one, and Jasjit touched upon that. Both inbound and outbound transportation is a big one for the automotive industry. Because if you look at it, we're essentially assemblers. We buy a whole lot of stuff, we process it, make a car or a motorcycle out of it, and then sell it out to consumers. Our factories are not as capital intensive as the chemical industry maybe, but they're decently capital intensive. So you can't have multiple factories at multiple locations. So you're constrained to have a big factory at one location and then to transport your goods out. So that's another one which is key. But having talked of these key issues, where does the opportunity lie in India? As I was talking about the penetration in the market, that's one key opportunity. Clearly, there are more Indians who are going to start earning much more. Our middle class figures for 2010, and I'm not using the cliched figures which have been used by the consultants before. I'm talking of people in the bracket households earning between $25,000 to $100,000 each year. We had 50 million of those in 2010. That is set to grow 100% by 2018. Now, if you add that 50 million middle class, it's like adding a huge country in Europe. A country like Germany has got 80 million people. Of that, about 45 million is middle class. Now, if you look at adding in another Germany in the next 6 years, that's the scale that we're talking about. There's another thing on the opportunities side where the car industry can probably take a little bit of heart over the motorcycle industries, as I would say. As the per capita GDP of the country goes up, your car sales go up because everybody wants to move up the value chain, everybody wants to go up from a two-wheeler to a four-wheeler typically. There's a certain point which comes about, and I think I'm repeating that per capita GDP thing quite a bit, but then that plays a very important role in it. Because as soon as you've got your per capita GDP up to a level where it matches the average car price, is where car sales will start inflecting and motorcycle sales will start, I would say, tapering off and shifting more towards car. But India today is at about $1,200 as our per capita GDP. Average car price, if you take maybe the entry-level category, the Santros and the Maruti 800s or the Altos, but close to about $5,000. So till that actual per capita GDP moves from 1,200 to 5,000, India is still going to sell more and more motorcycles, and that just gets me back to saying that drives the penetration thing as well, and we've still got a long way to go for the automotive industry. Where do we go from here? And Frank pointed out a very, very key aspect. I think we're going to sit and talk about that, about the electric car thing. That's about the sustenance, sustainable resources. I think the industry, the automotive industry worldwide is doing quite a bit in terms of investments onto the electric car platform or the hybrid car platform. And that's clearly the way to go. But purely speaking, again, as a consumer, am I getting that same convenience that I get of a petrol car or of a fossil fuel car? I'd say as of now, no. The battery technology which has gone into these cars, not yet up there. Or maybe there's a business model which needs to be exploited, wherein instead of having fuel stations, you could have battery stations where you come in, dump your whole battery off for charging, get a freshly charged battery and you're off. You don't need to wait 8 hours to get your batteries charged. So that's